Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. This is episode 94, I believe, and we have a fantastic guest, a special guest.
And a special listener, a fantastic listener.
Yeah. Thank you.
Who listens to it on 2 times speed, apparently.
I do.
He's busy. We're busy. We don't need to introduce him, really. We'll do the same as we do with the Kez. We don't really need to introduce him because he's been on. So if you don't know who Josh is, go back, look at our old episodes when we used to do it on Zoom.
Were you our
and
first
you'll
guest?
see that.
Yeah.
And he's been a co-host.
Yeah, I have.
How many episodes have you been on now?
Is this my third?
I think this is your fourth. Because you were on as a
Fourth?
guest, you did 2 co-hosts.
Did I? Oh, yeah, because we did the Christmas special,
We did the
didn't
Christmas
we?
special.
There we
yeah,
go.
The Christmas jumper on.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate. In all seriousness, thank you for coming on. Thank you for helping in the past.
My pleasure.
Give us an update. How have you been?
I've been amazing. I've not really.
Yourself?
Yeah, I've been enjoying myself.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself.
Training and bodybuilding, all that kind of stuff. It's not been number one priority over the past 6 months.
Pints have.
Right, how long in are we? 2 minutes and you've already said pints? God,
About a minute.
I'm getting the shakes. No, but like, life's been hectic. Last September, me and my girlfriend, we bought our first property together.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
congrats,
you.
mate.
Thank you. And yeah, just kind of, we've done quite a lot of holidays, not going to lie. Went to the Maldives, went to Dublin for a week, just come back from skiing. So yeah, holidays have been like,
Coast, didn't you, back last year?
that was last year. Yeah. Did the Amalfi Coast just before you went,
It
weren't
was
it?
like literally the same week we were chatting about it. Like we didn't speak about it before, did we? And then you were
Was
going
that when we
before.
trained together?
Yeah, we trained in
Yeah. Oh, that feels like it was 2 minutes ago. But yeah, all the nice things, they are like coming to an end, and prep is on.
So what, the second prep starts, that's when it's like, everything.
Yeah,
life
that's
just is
it.
over,
Life
now
ends.
Life is horrible.
Life ends.
Oh,
I
it's
turn
horrible.
into a
That was
miserable
sacrifice,
bastard.
Yeah, such a chore.
Yeah.
So how many
go on,
weeks is it? You're 20. You said 26 weeks out now, aren't you?
Yeah. I think I'm actually 24 from my first show, but the first show is going to be like, what? What are you looking at?
Yeah,
You're thinking, shit.
I'd get started.
Get this guy on. Yeah. He needs to take some Yimbine. Yeah,
Have you
20.
got some of your Himbine, just in case?
I've got all the
Have you actually
Yimbine.
got some?
Of course, I've got some.
Yeah,
What,
you
you used
need
it before?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need it now.
Right, anyway.
I need it now.
Right now.
What is
So
this?
24 weeks. So if anybody doesn't know, Josh is actually a men's physique pro. So
I am.
What
WNBF.
shows are you aiming for this year, mate?
Well, this will be like an exclusive because I've not.
Have you not announced it?
Do you want to announce
Are you
it?
working
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
shadows?
You are?
Are you working in the shadows?
This
And you're
can-
just going to turn up
Yeah.
ghost mode or whatever
This
people
could be
call it.
a reel. Sam could do a reel for you.
I'm 2 weeks out. No.
He's fucking nuts.
Why are you being horrible? I'm never coming on this again. This is my last time.
I was it.
Yeah, so I actually filmed a video with Sam the other day. So there will be an announcement on my Instagram, but it depends when Sam gets the
This will be
video
out
sent
next
over.
Friday.
Yeah, this will be out.
This will be out.
Oh, it might already be on then.
Oh, come on, mate. Just chat about it.
All right,
Just get
okay,
it out,
okay.
400 views, so
Okay. Right, so show number 1. Going to go for PCA Yorkshire on the 1st of October.
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
You don't know about Yorkshire, will you? The chant, Yorkshire chant.
No.
Yeah. So you
No.
know about the Yorkshire
Yeah,
chant.
we do.
Yorkshire people.
You know them boys.
Yeah,
know about
yeah.
the Yorkshire
Yorkshire
chant.
people. Yeah.
It's a really technical chant. You have to
Brothers.
learn the words. It's difficult.
Yeah. So that'll be show number 1. Literally just want to get my first shot. I always like just having a nice, almost like a little bit of a trial run.
Easy show.
It's not an easy show. No shows
know.
are easy.
I want to try.
Apart from that one and that PCA Mercier, that was an easy show.
Yeah. Danny.
Danny. Way too easy, bro. No, I'm joking. It looked amazing. Second show.
Mate, you need to say, Danny, I'm only joking.
I'm being
Like,
Danny,
You did look
I
good.
am joking. You looked
did
very
actually
good.
Yeah, you did look good. Because
Yeah.
He'll think, guys, what
We've
the
said
hell?
before. Sorry, mate. Just one sec. We've
Yeah,
said
yeah, yeah.
we need to start doing reviews of shows. Like,
Yeah.
so every week we do a podcast, we should review the shows from that week.
It's too dangerous.
Can we all agree PCA Mercy are probably the worst PCA/worst?
Why
show
do you
I've
think it's
seen?
too dangerous?
I think the worst.
I think people just get
Yeah, but I don't
quite
think.
upset.
I think it depends on how you do it. Like, if we do it in a professional way, we shouldn't go, this guy looks shit, because
Yeah.
that's not going to help them. I think we should actually try and help and say, right, this person could have been a bit leaner.
Yeah.
This person could have better lats, whatever. They need to work on this. Like,
Yeah.
I think like that would. If you
That
think about
that
how,
would be quite good.
If you think about how like Fuad's podcast do it, they do it with
Yeah.
like the big shows. I
Yeah.
think we should do it on the little shows because no one does that.
Okay.
So I honestly think we need to start doing that, and we can review PCA, UKDFBA, WNBF.
Yeah, what we
Two
can do,
bros,
we
like-
can almost have a look, because PCA posts like the reels of like the competitors who win and then the posing and stuff like that. So it would actually be quite good to have that on screen or have it on the laptop, and then we can have it popped up and we can see. Right,
nobody
this
does
guy,
that. Do
yeah,
they?
and that would actually be quite a good segue. But anyway, yeah, PCA Mercia was on the weekend. Wasn't the best standard. I think we can all agree upon that. But congratulations, Danny, on your win. You look good.
Danny, you look good.
Yes.
You look good, mate. I promise you. Right, so that's show number 1, PCA Yorkshire. Right,
What date's that?
1st of October.
Okay.
Right.
Ages then.
Ages.
You need-
Then things
Yeah,
start to get a little bit more interesting.
Okay.
Have I told you?
You told me.
I have, right.
You haven't told me.
Me and Josh are tight, you see.
Yeah.
Talk all the time, don't we?
Besties.
Okay.
FaceTime every day.
Yeah.
So, come on, put me out of my misery. What we doing?
I am going to America
Hmm?
to compete at the Summer Shredding Classic.
That's quite cool. That. Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
Like, I love Christian Guzman. I think, he's like probably one of the biggest influences on me, like competing in men's physique, him and Ryan Terry. And you, Reece.
Well,
of course.
you were one of my biggest inspirations. So
There we go. I knew I'd get him to say it.
What about me, guys?
No.
I'm just gonna
Like,
take that snippet. So yeah, that'll be. It's on my phone. I think that's the one that I'm like 28 weeks out from.
That's
so
cool, man. That's really good. Like I think
Yeah.
that'd be mint. That'd be really good.
What's the plan after that?
so then I think it's 2 weeks after that. It's my next show. So I'm gonna go for a WNBF Pro show
Okay,
in Canada. So
that'd be cool.
little
Are you gonna stay that
Yeah.
side of the world?
yeah. So I'm gonna have 6 weeks in. Class it as North America, can't you? Because
Where's the Summer Shredding Classic? Where's that?
Houston.
Okay, yeah, Texas, Houston. Is it?
Yeah.
And then because that's quite a long way.
Texas,
Yeah.
yeah. There's no point in like flying home and then flying back
No, I
out
was
and
gonna
then
say,
flying
it's-
home
yeah,
and
if
then
it-
to do another
If
show.
it's 2 weeks later, you're over that side of the world. You
Just
might as well
enjoy it
enjoy
while
it
you're there.
for
Yeah.
what you can.
Yeah. So show number 1, Summer Shredding Classic. I've actually got to qualify for their like nationals. So I'll do a show on the Friday. Hopefully qualify. Fucking hell, imagine. Go all that way and I
Don't
don't qualify for the show that's the day after.
God,
Um,
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully I will. Touch wood. Then the show after that, WNBF Canada. So the WNBF this year have made it a rule where you've got to do a pro show before going over and competing in the Worlds.
Okay.
So it's just obviously it's another way of them making the
Money.
process more. That's it.
Yeah,
I was going to say
money.
the process more interesting, but yeah, more money.
You said before that you were going to go to Dubai.
Yes, they changed the day of that show. So it was meant to be at the back end of September, which would have been great. So could have gone and spent 2-3 weeks there, then come home, hopefully have earned a little bit of money from competing in Dubai, and then gone to Seattle for the Worlds. But they moved it to August, and just if you're watching this on YouTube, just look at Reece and Finn's faces. Do you think I'll be ready for August?
Reece and Finn, mate, I'm not.
Do you think I'll be ready? Do you think I'll be ready for August?
You don't hold
For-
that much fat on your
Yeah,
face.
you-
Your
I always-
midsection
Oh, my
otherwise,
face.
Your midsection is awful. But
Yeah.
your face is fine.
Cheers, thank
If
you.
my midsection was like yours, my face would be 3 times yours.
Yeah, if my midsection was like yours, I'd be depressed.
It's from. Why are you so mean?
Mate,
You're not like this on Zoom.
Objectively, you're the best bodybuilder out of us all. So we're just like, we've got to do what we can.
Um,
Get what we can.
If you did, are you going to put that bit on your YouTube?
what?
The
No, my
YouTube?
fuck.
Oh, nah,
I'm gonna get Sam to blur it
you
out,
look
or
sound
like-
for peak off season. Like, mate, look how I look peak off season.
Yeah. I am currently I'm weighing 210 pounds, so that is as peak as off season gets for me
Is that
What's
the heaviest
your,
show
yeah,
yet?
what's your heaviest like peak?
that I've ever been.
Yeah.
215.
So you
And now-
you've been softer than this.
I was so out of shape.
Okay, so give us some background. So you're 215 currently, no, 210 currently.
Yeah.
215 is your time peak.
Yeah.
What was your stage weight last time you were on stage?
The last time I was on stage, I ended up with the shits at about 3 days out, so I ended up weighing about 77 kilos.
That was when you went abroad. That was the Worlds, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That when you were
was
in
in
tears.
that was in Vegas.
Yeah, so that's when you were in tears. You told me. I remember.
Still
Okay.
came
Like,
third.
I was crying. I looked awful. Like a couple of days.
Well,
out.
weren't quite crying. I just weren't quite happy.
Yeah.
I was very depressed. No, I literally, I thought I've spent all this money and my entire physique is falling out my arse currently. Tip for anyone going to Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, no, we're literally like my lats just disappeared from the bottom up. I was like, Jesus Christ, I look horrific. But yeah, tip for anyone going to Vegas: don't drink tap water. Go and spend $6 for half a litre of water, and do it that way. Cause yeah, I regret it. Still came third in the world. Like, you know, it's not that bad.
Yeah. You look good still. It wasn't like, oh, he looks off. You didn't look as good at the WNBF.
Oh yeah, UK show was. Looking at the photos, I can't believe that's me.
I don't know if we've asked this before, but do you, on the last one, do you reckon that your placing would have changed if you looked like you did in the WNBF?
If I'm not blowing smoke up my own arse. I think if I'd have turned up like how I looked in the UK, I do think I'd have won my class, and then the overall's a lottery, innit?
Okay. Yeah, but they also said that you were too big, didn't they?
Yeah. So but I would have just looked better.
That's why you've not been 215. You just
You
don't need to get that heavy.
No, I remember we
genuinely.
In Rotherham, and he was literally like, I can't push up too much, but then you fucking
have. Yeah. So 210 currently, 215. Was that before your previous prep?
Yeah.
So you're £5 lighter than where you.
Yeah, but all of my every like measurable is so much better than what it previously has been. Training. Yeah. Like I'm doing more volume overall. Yeah. My strength is like way higher. My physique looks better now than what it did last time I was at this weight. Yeah. I am very happy. I do think I will look different. I think I'll look better. Yeah. Touch wood again.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah, fucking hell. Otherwise, it's been a right waste of 18 months, hasn't it? Christ.
It's been 18 months.
Yeah. It's been 18 months since I stepped on stage,
it flies, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like it's not been that long.
It doesn't feel that long since you competed.
No.
I feel like it feels like ages since I did.
Yeah, I feel like for you, but I think.
Oh, it has been ages for you.
No, it's only been a year longer for Finn than me.
Yeah, but still, that's a long time in bodybuilding.
But I feel like I stepped off stage not that long ago.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact I'm now a few weeks out, it's a bit scary.
Whereas for me, it feels like forever.
But I almost think as well, I feel like you get into it, like my first inclination into bodybuilding was, watching Finn go through a prep. Like I'd seen people prep, but never that close to me.
Yeah.
So it was almost like when you first go through it with somebody and you go, okay, this is
you wanted to do it after how
bad
I was.
Yeah, how hard it was.
Trenches,
yeah. Finn was just on his arse from 6 weeks out.
Yeah.
Mate, from 20 weeks out. I am now. I'm too lean now.
Yeah. So yeah, part of it. But either way, it's an interesting one because when you get into it, it probably feels like longer than when you actually get into the process. Because for me, it's been 18 months, and 18 months is absolutely flown by.
We were speaking about this earlier though. It's like nothing really changes. Like for us, we haven't really said like, oh, how are you feeling? Because we're prepping. Like it's the days are the same. We're just eating a bit less. Like you can tell when Reece is a bit battered because he's very lean, and you can just tell if he's not got as much energy. But like for a lot of people, it's like it's nice because people will ask like, oh, how's your prep going and stuff. But it's like for me, nothing. It's literally no different. Like I'm just getting a bit leaner. I'm just eating a bit less. Like but obviously towards the end, like we've said, a prep is probably a prep in the last month. Yeah. Like but
definitely.
Otherwise, it's just.
But I think there's the majority of people like make it so much more dramatic than what it is.
Oh mate, 100%. It's
social media.
Yeah.
It's attention seeking a lot of the time.
Yeah. It's a lot of people like to make it out like it is something that's completely different, and maybe it is if your off seasons are horrendous. The Josh Croggon go on holiday over 2 month protocol, but no, in all seriousness,
buddy.
If you think about it for you when you start a prep, what changes other than you won't eat off plan, you're going to be doing a bit more cardio, and you're going to be moving a bit more obviously as a result of steps, and you'll be eating a bit less.
Yeah.
But the problem is people hype it up like
we
prep
did
this,
speak
prep
about this
that.
though, didn't we? Last year.
We spoke about it.
But we spoke about it and we said that we actually need to almost put the information out there that it is harder than people think.
Yeah.
But exactly what you've just said is it's based on the off season. It's based on how well an individual manages an off season.
Yeah, because I feel like it's one of them where if you know exactly what to expect, you won't be surprised when it gets tough. But because it's such a slow and steady decline of like energy, fatigue, let's say accumulation, I don't feel like you ever just wake up and you're like, oh
there's
my
not
God.
one day where
it's not one day where you just go, oh, I feel like I'm prepping now.
Yeah.
It's just a slow and steady process.
It's the same in off season though.
Yeah.
You get to a point like there's a certain sort of stage where you go, feeling pretty heavy now. I'm feeling a bit sluggish. My food's getting hard. Like there's not one day. It just you sort of gradually get to that.
It's almost a bit like how fatigue works in the gym. Like when you were battered prior to a deload, I feel like if you were to be, let's say, going into the gym and you're like, oh, my fatigue's so high, I need a deload.
Session's going to be shit because you're thinking about it.
It's never like that. You'll be like, let's say if you've had 12 weeks or 10 weeks or 8 weeks of really productive training, those last few weeks you're going in, you're like, you'll unrack a bar and you're like, oh,
we always say your body will tell you when you
need
your
sleep will drop off a little bit. You might be a bit more irritable. You'll notice a meal comes around, you're like, I don't really want to eat. And like that's like usually that slow and steady process. But I think a lot of people they look for it and it's like, I'm prepping, I should be.
What do you think in terms of like, do you think people make out it's harder than it is, or do you think for the vast majority of people it is very difficult?
I think it's difficult for people that are a little bit softer in general. So
softer in general.
Like
you were saying that you're saying people are soft in 2023.
Sorry to any of the softies.
Sorry softies. I mean, sorry guys. Yeah, like
sometimes we have to say to our clients, like, just fucking crack on. Like, it's hard at times. Just fucking get on with it. Like, stop moaning and just crack on. Like, there's times when things are difficult that you go, all right, how can we work around this?
Yeah.
Like, for example, if their work is like desk based and they're having to do overtime and like, okay, how can we work around it?
Yeah, they could do more cardio, and they could say,
there's things
hey mate,
you
can I pull my steps down, but can I do an extra 20 minutes cardio? Like,
there's things you can do. But
I
think a lot of people, it's just like, oh, it's hard. Like, yeah, what did you expect? Like, getting in stage condition is not easy. Nobody gets in stage condition just like that. Like, nobody goes on the day and goes, oh, this was easy. Like, you speak to anybody that's competed, like, it is difficult. Yeah. But also, it depends on how regimented you are.
I was speaking to Cuba yesterday at Rotherham. He said to me, he came up to me, and he
friends.
Yeah, they are best
friends now since he followed me on Instagram after he spotted me on a leg press. AK jumped in with me on the leg press, and he came up to me and he was like, looking really good, mate. How you feeling? And I was like, honestly, mate, like, all right, to be fair. Like, obviously, like, tired, like, as I should be at this point. I'm pretty lean. But
all
I was like,
right
I feel,
at that stage is very different to all right.
Yeah, I said, I feel sound. I was like, I said last time, I felt a lot worse because I had to push a lot harder towards the end.
Yeah.
So when you've done a prep where you've, like, had to dig really hard, I think you can compare it and go, oh, it's not actually, this isn't that bad in comparison. So I said, all things considered, training's good, feel good, sleep's not horrendous. I'm not that irritable. I can just crack on and get stuff done. And I'm like relatively sound. But like I said this to Finn the other day, I like grinding my salt just like in the morning. My arms, my hands are so tired just grinding salt. Like that's something that
I always find a good indicator of how full or how flat you are is when you just grip like that.
I thought you were going to say when you grind salt.
No, but if you grip like this and do you feel like you can grip? And like when you're really flat, there's nothing there. Like you literally you can't even grip. Yeah. When you're full and when you've got energy, you can, like, now I can grip really hard. Whereas I bet you're a bit like, you're trying to grip, but you can't feel
there's not a lot there. And it's like, it's funny because like I literally grind my salt, I pick my bowl up and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like that's like just doing the action of this is challenging. And you don't realise, like, in the moment,
that's like, well, this is how it feels at the end.
Because it's such a slow and steady process.
But for anyone else, they'll go, oh my God, I'm like, grinding my salt and it's hard.
Yeah. Like, I get onto, like, I get out the car and it's like, oh God, my legs, Jesus Christ. But that's normal because it's such a slow and steady decline. It's not just like you wake up and you're like, I can't grind salt or my legs hurt.
What have you experienced, like, with your clients? Obviously, you've quite a lot of clients compete.
I think with my clients, or how I am as a coach, I would just be very selective. Like if I knew someone was a little bit softer.
Mate,
sorry, honestly, if someone was to struggle with prep a little bit more, I honestly wouldn't ask how they are as much.
Yeah.
And I just kind of look at everything else that like we've got. So, you know, training performance, how they look, and are you absolutely knackered when you go into bed at night? Yeah. Fall asleep on the sofa for 2 hours before I actually get in bed. Like, they're better indicators than the words that are coming out of the mouth, because 9 times out of 10,
they're just gonna complain.
They're gonna feel like that
they're just gonna let, like, you know, let me know that, oh yeah, I'm really grinding now, bro. I'm in the trenches. What's that?
You with the Coke? It's my Coke bottle.
All right. No one else heard that. But yeah, like the guys that I've got that are a little bit better, that literally there's nothing that I could throw at them that they'd
just crack on.
Yeah. They wouldn't even think. It's just do. Machine mentality, to quote Neil Curry.
I do think that you can learn that. Yeah. Like, because I think when I was probably, like we've said, when we've always maybe had a bit of that in us that we want to do really well, but if I was like when I was 16, 17, if someone had told me to like go through a contest prep, no chance. Like, I'd really struggle.
I literally
like,
said to a client today, I was like, if I was to wake up in the condition I'm at now when I was 18, I would freak out and be like, why the hell do I feel
it'd be a bit
this?
weird. Like, imagine.
No, but I'd be
Look
like,
how you look
no, but I mean in general, like you have every systemic feature of just feeling the way you do. You'd be like,
yeah, but
what the
like
hell
you
is wrong
say,
with me?
it's because it is such a gradual sort of decline.
Yeah.
And for you, it like now you feel normal.
Yeah.
Like if I say to you, how are you feeling? Yeah, all right. But in reality, that's fucking shit.
Yeah,
Like, but it's not because it's all right.
Just looking at you,
But
I know you're not great.
I've never said even when I am struggling, I would never say I'm struggling
No, I don't like to say that.
because then you think about it more.
Yeah.
Like so when like you said, I get out of the car, you go, oh my legs. Yeah. Straight away, as soon as I will say something like that to myself, I'll say the opposite and I'll go, no, my legs are fine. I do it if I feel tired. If I go, I feel tired today, I go, no, you don't. No. Shut the fuck up. You're not tired. Crack up. Like I have to counteract it.
I don't ever yawn. You won't ever see me yawn. I'll cancel yawns. I'll literally be like trying to cancel it.
It does, to be fair. I yawn.
That is some serious mindset.
No, I don't want to tell myself I'm tired. It's like, no, you should be present. You should be alive. You should be awake. I remember there was a Steve Cook video when I was like 14, and he was like, when he used to play American football, he'd never like put his hands on his knees. You know, like after a sprint, he put his hands above his head.
That was always the thing that I was taught playing football. It was put your hands on your head to help you breathe in, but it also doesn't make you look like you're
weak.
tired.
Yeah, and I always think like in bodybuilding, there's going to be times where like you wake up and you're like, Jesus Christ. Like today I woke up and I could tell, God, I'm slow. Like legs was yesterday. I'm always Wednesday, Thursday. I'm always the most battered because it's 3 big sessions. I'm usually pretty tired. Like, and it's also coming off like 2 days worth of filling up and then back to like a baseline. So back in the trenches. So like Wednesday, Thursday, I usually feel pretty trashed, and like even Friday. But like I feel better because I haven't trained on Thursday. And I woke up today and I was like, oh, I'm slow. I'm quite slow today. But
it's a mental game.
You just got to kind of go through it and think, right, just get to this time. I'll be sound. Have my little white monster.
I think
get everything ticked off, and it'll just go from there.
You can do is just like almost just take it each step at a time. So like, if you've got a good routine in place, which is so important, like, what's the next thing you've got to do? Yeah. Do that. Okay, right. Now, what's the next thing you've got to do? Oh, I've got to get ready for the gym. Do that. What's the next thing? I've got to drive to the gym. Do that. Like, if you just focus on the next thing, same when you're training. Like, if you're thinking, oh, I've got 12 sets to do today and I'm knackered, like, the session's going to be shit. Like, just focus on the next set.
You're focused on the end, and it's like, we should, for anything, appreciate the challenge in the moment of, right, I've got 1 set now in front of me. Can I get the most
Even
out
1 rep. We say take each rep as it comes.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
Don't think, oh, I've got to get 12. Like, just take each rep as it comes, make the most out of each rep, and before you know it, you probably have a decent set. Like,
have you heard that? Have you ever seen Rocky the film or like Creed?
I've seen Creed.
I watched Creed last night actually.
Did you?
I finished the first one. Yeah, we watched the third one in the cinema.
Yeah, you've done what me and Shannon have done. We watched the third one at the cinema. We've watched the first one. We've not watched the second one yet.
Yeah, we literally
want to watch it all together.
Yeah, we can watch the second one all
together.
together.
Do you want to come round?
We can actually. That'd be quite good.
Right.
Yeah, Sam, we'll get that sorted.
You and Annabella coming?
Yeah.
Annabella will be limping.
I made Annabella watch all the Creeds.
Oh well, you can't
in chronological order over like a day, and then we went and watched it in the film. No. Oh, yeah. My girlfriend's not. Yeah, shout out to Annabella, who's
get well soon.
She's had a bit of a tough time recently. She's had her wisdom teeth out. She's done a knee. She's with
Josh.
She puts up with me. Yeah.
Cooks all your food.
She genuinely does.
Imagine if you were on TRT as well. Wow.
Yeah.
You'd be so bad.
You'd be really bad. You'd be really angry at
you.
Yeah. Really angry.
You need fucking fine. Get out of bed.
Right. That's going to be... People might not get that. People might.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
Yeah. We'll move on. Let me go back.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Rocky says to Adonis something like 1 step, 1 punch, 1 round at a time. And that is prep.
Sorry, I just got goosebumps.
Sam, put that in black and white and edit it up there.
Yeah, this is Machiavelli motivation. But that is prep.
Yeah.
It's literally like each hour, each day.
The issue is that people don't have a routine, and it's the same in off season. So that's what we were saying. Like people who don't have a routine in off season then think, oh, I'll do a prep.
What would you say is more important, routine wise, off season or prep? Because I personally think like eating, I don't think you can get up to high. I think you can get shredded without a routine.
Yeah.
I think you can get peeled without a routine.
A lot of food.
Yeah,
I don't think you can get a lot of food in without a routine.
No.
Because it is legitimately a job. Like, and that sounds cringy to say it's a job, but it is a job. It is a case of turning up and get your meals in, you know?
Yeah, I think I think you can get peeled without a routine with like really good discipline.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't got a routine but you're disciplined and you don't overeat, you'll get peeled.
Yeah.
But you need to be in a routine to get on a good amount of food and actually get heavier and get a lot stronger. So yeah,
I would agree.
So
Off season is way more.
It's not. It's hard.
It's not harder. It's so much more of a process than what a prep
it's longer.
is.
Yeah, it is a longer.
It should be longer.
Yeah.
Like it's a longer process. It, if anything, is a bit more of a tedious process. It's not as exciting.
You do not get the return like you do on a prep.
You don't get any.
You don't see
instant,
yourself
like,
change every week.
gratification of like.
No, and then you go on a podcast with two people that you think are your mates, and they just tell you that you've got a muffin top and
mushing top.
a mushing.
Right, let's have an update on you. Give us an update on your prep, mate. Couple of weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. Not long now. It's coming around quick. We are currently 2.5 weeks out to the PCA. I think it's Northwest.
I think Northwest and Northeast are like consecutive weekends.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's the 7th of May, so yeah.
It's the Northwest.
It's the Northwest, right. So yeah, 2.5 weeks till then, and then 3.5 weeks till the JT Classic, which is the Two Bros qualifier. Like it's a regional, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then I'm doing the I was gonna say PCA show in Poland. No, I'm doing the
if you
Poland. Yeah, the Poland. There is actually a PCA. The Universe that weekend. But no, I'm going to Poland for the show on the 27th, 28th for that weekend. For the pro qualifier, so it is coming around very, very quickly. Like the thought of stepping on stage in 2.5 weeks is pretty wild, but then I'm definitely at that point where 2.5 weeks seems like so far. Like 2.5 weeks in the grand scheme of things is nothing.
No,
like I'll be getting my tan before I know it, but it feels like because it's like everything's broken up into day-to-day tweaks, day-to-day amendments, looking at how I am. It's almost a case where like the thought of even thinking more than a week ahead at this point is like wild, but. Genuinely, like as I said a moment ago, I can tell I'm lean, can tell I'm pretty tired, but I'm not like on death's door. I can still function. I'm still training really well. It's just a case of being pretty lean, and like from a visual perspective, it's quite nice because I'm pretty much there. Like I don't really have that much more to
you're
come
pretty
off.
lean, mate. Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Well, you saw me. I think was it about
a month ago?
Yeah, a month ago, and you were like, how many weeks? And you were like, okay, you're pretty good for this point. Like,
yeah. Now you're like, you could literally rock up to any show.
Yeah.
I
said this to Sanaya on the drive. I was like, if there's a show this weekend, I wouldn't, but I legitimately could be like, I could just hop into a show this weekend. I could have hopped into Mercia. I could have,
you could have done that for the past 2 months, but you can still be better.
Yeah,
like, that's the thing.
Yeah,
and that's why the timeline is set out as it is, because you won't be your absolute best at the PCA, but you'll be very good, and we'll learn from what could be better. And then you'll be bang on for the regional, and then you'll be even better for the pro qualifier.
So, yeah, everything's kind of ticking over nicely, which at this point, like, you'd imagine it should be. Like, I set myself up to the point where I wanted to be very close to 100% at this point, and it is literally just a case of, like, making sure to not lose all my fullness, because my chest and my delts just run flat if I push a bit too hard. And then as well, just make sure to train well, let training drive
We've
for
had the same
progress.
routine for the past month.
Yeah,
really.
it's literally not been like, it's been like literally Sunday.
Slight tweaks, but like same
it's
routine.
been Sunday, Monday refeeds, pretty much. We added
5 days.
Yeah, and then 5 days baseline. And like, to be fair, it was a little bit longer actually. About a month ago, there was 1 week where it was like a week in between. So it was like a week in between, so 7 days.
Yeah,
so
that's because you did the refeed earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, refed earlier, 7 days. Then it was pretty much now it's been every 5 days. So the refeeds are coming around a bit more frequently. So by the time that like the food's almost kind of expelled and been utilised, it's another refeed. But we added a bit more food in on my rest day refeed. Still drop body weight. So it's one of them where like I'm at that point where you said like I could in theory pretty much eat most things. I'd just soak it up and I'd look better.
I feel like we're at a good point now as well. Like I was saying in the gym earlier, like I feel like I know how you're going to look every day now.
Yeah,
it's not like a surprise. I think as well, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, everyone was like, "Oh, you're ready," and I was like, "You're not," and you knew you weren't, but everybody else was like, "Yeah,
I
you're
think,
ready."
Well, ready relative to like it sounds cocky, but
no,
like
but we've said it before.
to normal people, you are.
Yeah. And
or you were.
Yeah, I have been. Like when I posed, like I said, about a month ago with you were like, "Shit, you're good. Like you're really good." And like the amount of like people that will say, "Oh, mate, this is really good," but then also it's like, well, it's really good, but not relative to what really I know that I can bring.
An amateur level and for Instagram with structure, but it's not really good, or it wasn't yet, and it's still not for a pro lineup, which is where you want to be realistically.
Yeah, exactly.
That should be your goal for that this year. Like, is to get a pro card and then be like, why not go into some pro shows? Like, so I think that's what you're looking for. I think people go, oh yeah, you look incredible, because you do, but you still could be better.
Look incredible. That means a lot.
Yeah,
That's
watch
a nice,
that mic.
that's a nice compliment.
It's going to be a weird noise for Sam.
So yeah, no, it was. It's a good look. Like, and I'm happy. So it's one of them where I feel I said this to you yesterday when we went through some posing. Like, no matter the outcome, I've done everything that I need to. So it's like I'm already proud of what I've done, and like I know I've made good improvements.
Good man.
I've like looked at myself in every aspect, and I've thought, like, even if I was to finish dead last in every show, I'm not going to, but that's how I do. I'd be very
second to last.
Yeah, second.
That's the thing. That's what we always
I'd be
say.
really
like,
proud of how I've handled how things have gone.
The result is at the end of the day. Like, whoever turns up, turns up.
Yeah.
If there's someone that's better than you, fair fucking play. Like,
yeah, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going into like the PCA show, and Josh said today, he was like, "Oh, I've trained with the PCA winner." I was like, "Not the overall winner, bro." And like, let's say for example, a freak turns up. Like, I'm going into that PCA show, and I'm like, right, it's a warm up show. I'm not going to be 100%, but I'm going to go in, and if I'm going for a pro card, I need to win the overall. That's the minimum. And if I was to get beat, let's say I don't even win the class, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, that's me done. I'd just be like,
just go, wow,
there's someone who's amazing who's turned up, who must have who's just beat me. And that's the way it is. That's how competing is. And it's one of them where, like, you're getting judged, and I've said this before, you're getting judged off how you look, off other people's opinions of you. So you can only control what you can control. And I think when you know you've done absolutely everything perfectly, and I can say that flat out, I've got absolutely no doubt that I'll be turning up, and I'm going to be fully confident knowing that I've done everything needed. You know?
We've said before as well, like, especially for the softies out there. Sorry, softies, but for people who really sort of put so much weight on other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding isn't a good sport for you.
No.
Like, legitimately, I couldn't really care what someone thinks about how I look. If someone gives me a bad comment about how I look, I'll go, okay, cool, that's like constructive criticism.
Yeah.
If someone says to me, your legs are shit, I'll go, yeah, I know, they need to be better. I won't go, someone said my legs are shit. You know what I mean? Or even if someone said, if like I get feedback and they go, your legs need to be bigger, I'm not going to go, what? No, they don't. Like, yeah, I'm not deluded. My legs aren't very good. I know they need to be better. Like, we've said before, like, that's the job of you and the coach. That's not the job of the judges to tell you that. The job is you and your coach to be realistic and not be deluded and go, this needs to be better. Whereas I feel like people are almost like so self-conscious and get so sort of worked up by actually having some feedback. It's like, that's bodybuilding.
Yeah.
If you get upset about being told about your physique, that's bodybuilding. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point. Like you were saying, you know, you can't have that opinion. You can't let other people's opinions get you down or get to you. Yeah. In regards to competing, otherwise it's probably not a sport for you.
Yeah. So your body weight now, how does that compare to your last prep?
I was 99.7 this morning, and the lowest I got down to was 92.3 last prep. So yeah, like 7 kilos. But I'd argue it's a weird. I don't think it's hard, isn't it? Because it's a different sort of look. Because I was 92 kilos, but I was flat, and I was 94.8 kilos for the finals. So it's around like 5 to 7 kilos gained. But then also, like, I'm sharper in a lot of areas, but I don't think that's objective body fat, like where I'm leaner. It's a different sort of look. Like, I feel I look leaner now than I did when I last stepped on stage, because I've got more muscle and I'm fuller. But it's not like so it's quite challenging to assess. And also, I pulled off such an aggressive amount of weight towards the latter end of the last prep that it was like, is that really true, accurate weight? And it's a completely different look. So it's about 7-ish kilos, 7 to 8 kilos gained.
You do look a lot fuller now. Yeah. Like, at the end of the last prep, you did look like, you know.
I looked.
Like your face.
You look so flat.
Yeah, I looked deprived. Like, I looked relatively like Natty, but I was at 16 weeks, or it's 17 weeks out. I looked, in my opinion, I didn't look like an enhanced men's physique guy.
Yeah.
I was very good condition. I was really sharp, and I had good lines where it needed to be. But like, my delts didn't have the same pop. My chest had no pop at all. My back was pretty weak. My legs just lost. It was a completely different look. Like, I feel like I look more than 7 kilos relative to the actual like bubbliness.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like, we've said, like, if I was to get down to 97 kilos over the next, let's say, 2 weeks, if I was to pull off another kilo and a bit, if I continue to look better, it's not going to be a bad thing. I don't think I need to. I don't think I really need to pull off much more.
I think you've even at 100, 101, you were saying I don't think I need to, and you've kept getting better.
Yeah, exactly. So it's an interesting one.
Like we've said, it is almost like the lighter you get, more often than not, the better you get, as long as you don't let performance drop off.
Yeah. Which at my last prep, 4 weeks out, I was pushing so hard, my performance would drop off. I was doing more cardio. I was actually technically eating more than I was now. But because I was doing more cardio, my steps were higher. Fatigue wasn't like handled at all that well throughout the prep. So it was a case where towards the end it was just like, let's just throw everything at it.
First prep as well.
Yeah, exactly. This prep, it was a case of doing more out the gate. Cardio. I didn't do cardio daily till 6 weeks or 7 weeks out last prep, where I've been doing cardio daily for pretty much the entirety of the prep. My food has been lower, literally like objectively throughout the entirety of this prep. But because it's resulted in condition getting ahead, I've managed to refeed. So it's been a case of like almost, okay, I can push harder, but then I'm also filling back up. So I think it's just been a sense of just handled like really well. Like in my opinion, I don't, unless something was to go wrong over the next 2 weeks, which touch wood, hopefully nothing does.
Table's
but
getting a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, exactly. Josh,
what do you reckon to the table, mate?
Really nice table. Yeah. Very round.
Yeah, it's round.
I like the it's almost like a stained wood effect.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So lovely. That's my prep. That's where I'm at. Anything that you boys want to ask or add, or anything that I forgot about, or anything we covered?
I don't think so.
No.
Sound right. Finn, update. Where you at?
I'm 18 and a half weeks out.
Too lean, mate. You gonna have a diet break soon?
To be fair, I already had one planned in.
That's another thing. Stick a pin in diet breaks. Go on, carry on.
I like it.
Certain people doing diet breaks winds me up. Carry on.
No,
So gonna be a good topic.
I kind of already planned in for 8 weeks, and then it's a case of if I'm ahead, I'll have a diet break. If I'm on track, I'll basically still be losing fat, and if I'm behind, I'll obviously definitely be losing fat.
Yeah.
As of right now, I'm a little bit ahead, so probably I'll have a diet break at that point, which ultimately I don't really feel like I want to or need to, but I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. It'd just be 1 week of working food back up to maintenance.
Okay.
I'd keep my expenditure the same because I like my routine, and I'd just have slightly higher food, like not a lot.
What do you mean by ahead? Like how much weight have you lost in what period of time? Just like
it's really not been
just
that
remind
much,
me.
all things
No,
considered.
but I've kind of got like a timeline of kind of where I want to be and what I project to be. Obviously, you're never going to know exactly, but I've kind of got it like mapped out as to where I want to be at certain points.
Yeah.
So if I'm ahead of what I project, that's what I mean by being ahead.
Yeah.
But I was 186 pounds bang on this morning. I started prep. But before I went on holiday, I was 197. Before I went to Morocco, what's that, a month ago? Something like that, just over.
Yeah, 5 weeks.
So you've lost about.
But then I lost a few pounds when I was on holiday, so I started at 194, and now I'm down to 196. So 8 pounds
186.
186. Sorry, 4 weeks.
£8.
So I'm right on track with where I want to be. Really, that camera does keep going off.
Yeah.
Don't know why. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So there's no like plan of like, oh, I'm definitely going to do this. Or definitely like, you don't know. Like at the minute, everything's going to plan as it should be. Everything's going well. If in a few weeks' time, I think I'm ahead, and I think I probably would benefit from having that diet break, then I will do. Last thing I want to do is be ready really early. Like my first show is still like over 10 weeks from my last show.
Yeah.
So I don't need to be inside out at that first show. Like I want to be 80-90% of that first show. If anything, I might even do a show before that first show, before the WNBF, just as another practice. But like just get leaner and leaner into the shows and then peak for the actual end of the shows. So that's the plan. At the minute, I'm in a good spot. I'm feeling good. I'm happy with how I'm looking. There's a lot of poses that I want to improve because I feel like on some poses I'm still making myself look smaller than I am. But yeah, I feel good. I feel really good. I am ahead for the time frame. Like I'll have people message me like, "Well, you're very lean for this point out," but like realistically, I'm not. I'm not that lean.
No,
like social media. Oh mate, there's loads to come off.
Yeah.
Social media makes you look leaner. Like photos that we take in the mirror, like I look leaner than I am. And ultimately, like I want to be able to lose really slowly at the end. Like I want it to be where I might lose a quarter to a half a pound in a week, and it's just like, cool, look a little bit better. Yeah. My food is still very high. My expenditure is very moderate. I feel good. Yeah. I'm looking better every single week. Like I can't complain. All is good. Yeah. But yeah, like that's the main plan. The main concern I have is that I don't want to be too lean too early, if you like, which I don't think I will be with how I've kind of mapped it all out. No. And like I'm not my main focus is on the WNBF finals, which is the furthest show away.
Yeah, buddy.
So ultimately, I need to make sure that
Josh, you bet if you're.
I'm not judging, mate.
You're not
he's not
referee.
judging, he's not there.
You're not the ref.
I'm not. I'm in Texas.
He's not even there.
I'm in Texas.
I was at his show, but he's not even coming. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
But
Shit,
no,
mate.
that's the one that's quite far
Put in
away.
a good word for him. Him
So,
and
yeah.
Rimini or whatever. If Rimini's like judging again.
Don't worry, I'll message everyone. I'll message Steve. I'll message everyone. Yeah, I'll message Andrew. Hey mate, I'm competing today. Yeah. But yeah,
You want a blowjob?
That's the furthest one away. So that's the one I've got to be my best for.
Yeah.
But like we were saying before, like I feel really relaxed because I've just got a lot of work on. Like I've got a lot of clients to be focusing on. With me, it's like I'm the least of my worries.
Yeah.
It's like I've already mapped things out. I've got a lot of clients doing very similar shows to me, so I know when the shows are. I know how far away we are.
Yeah.
I know where I need to be. I know where they need to be. So if anything, I'm just like another client. Like, and then when I get a bit trash towards the end, and I'm maybe not getting the best judgment, that's when I'll basically just say to Reece, like, do I look good? Do I not? Tell me if
What
I
do you
don't.
reckon?
Like,
Yeah. And then I'll at that point be at a prep, and I'll be like looking forward to my clients competing, and likewise Finn. It's funny because I haven't thought much about it other than like me. I'm on stage, but I don't think too much more of it than that. Like I'm the thought of like towards the latter end of the year, there'll be the PCA first timers that I'll have a few people at. I'll have shows like every weekend with clients, and then Finn will be competing. Like the thought of like going to watch Finn compete
busy,
will be awesome.
It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, it'll be wicked. Like thought
Well,
of you
mate.
like
Cheers, mate.
no, the thought
I'm
of like
gonna
let's
be
say
good.
Just all
just
of it.
towards-
I love it.
Yeah,
It
towards
is
that
good.
end of the year, like I think that's going to be awesome. Like content wise, like coaching wise, personally, like it's going to be wicked. And I'm way
Show days
more
are good,
excited.
aren't they?
I'm way more excited than that than I am for myself. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't-
100%,
like
yeah.
I don't even think about it. In 2 and a bit weeks, I'm like, oh, this is for this.
Yeah.
Sound, step on stage. For Finn, it's like that's cool. I haven't seen Finn compete. I watched him on
Yeah.
live stream, and it was an awful live
And
stream.
I looked awful.
Yeah, so
I looked incredible in real life.
incredible
It
in
was
real
all
life.
live.
so
Yeah,
fun on the live
yeah.
stream. So
Mate, your glutes that show were amazing. They were so cut. Just shame that the live stream didn't show
live
it.
stream a bit blurry.
Yeah.
No, in
person,
all
it's
seriousness, the live stream.
my glutes were
No,
good.
no. In all seriousness, the live stream. What pissed me off is that I've told you, I know, they filmed it from the left, and they went and they panned across, and I was over here every time. So when I was basically being compared in the, it was before call.
Maybe you should have been centre stage.
Or
No, it's before
maybe you
call-outs.
should have just rotated around a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like you got to think about.
Mate,
the
I didn't know where the camera was. I rotated to the judges. The camera was on the left of the judges.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's what I
Oh
mean.
shit! Yeah. I did the same show.
Yeah,
Just,
so the camera was
That's
over
really
here
bad.
and it panned across. Yeah, but no one does men's physique, so you're like the only one. Whereas I had
there
those
was
people in
there
my
was
class.
3,
Yeah, I had like 12 or something in my class.
and I was one of the 3,
Yeah, well done, mate. So there's just 2 more.
and I won.
Yeah. But that was the only thing that annoyed me, because when I watched the live stream back, by the time it got to me, it was a change of pose, so we didn't get to see that much anyway. And then when it was the comparisons, I was next to David, so it's like, oh yeah, great, I look like fucking shit. I'm next to David.
Yeah.
So yeah, the live stream did me dirty.
Yeah.
If you were there, it's a different story. I'd like to see the judges' scorecard.
So close.
Right, should we get in some questions?
Yeah, I didn't get many.
I got
Oh,
a fair
before
few,
before we
just
start
on
the
one
questions,
Oh.
I just want to bring up a bit of a subject.
So you're thirsty.
Yeah. I'm extremely thirsty, and this Pepsi Max Cherry is just not going to cut it for me. So just give me a minute, guys.
What's he bringing out? This is definitely not planned. We have no idea what Josh is going to be bringing out. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. Oh, do you know what? This podcast is about to get 10 times better. Yeah,
Josh loves pints, everybody. That's
I
why
get
we do
absolutely roasted for enjoying a pint. And when I were watching
Can I
the...
smell it? That was it.
I can smell it now. I just needed to get a sip.
Couldn't
in.
do it.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. Smell that. How the hell do you drink that?
Why do you like it? What is wrong with you?
There you go, mate. So is that a non-alcoholic beer?
Doesn't
This
smell it.
this is a non-alcoholic beer. Yeah, that's how good it is.
No, it's not. It's just have a normal drink.
Yeah, I couldn't ever. That's
No, because I can't have a normal beer.
No, right. So
it's
surely that you don't like the taste of that more than a Pepsi Max. Surely not.
It's different.
It's awful
It's different.
Genuine. Okay, you've got
Ooh.
that or that.
for the rest of your life.
Oh, for the rest of my life. Oh, 100%
Pints.
Pepsi Max. Pints, but alcoholic
How many
pints.
pints do you have a day on average?
I have none. Like on average, I
Don't lie
reckon
to
like
me.
0.1
How many
pint.
pints do you have a week on average?
1.
Don't lie to me, Josh.
Right, I had one on Sunday. I had a Guinness non-alcoholic again.
Baby Guinness.
Oh, baby Guinness is good.
See? They love a beer, these boys. Just trying to be cool for the podcast.
Pretend we're such bodybuilders.
They love a beer.
But
these
yeah,
boys.
on the subject of drinking, because I obviously listened to what you're on about with Kez. How much of a percentage would you say that having an occasional drink, and I'm saying occasional, once a month,
This is a good question.
2 beers,
Yeah.
how much do you think that affects bodybuilding?
Minimal. If
yeah.
anything,
It's,
zero.
you know what's something I've actually thought about? Like, I know when you and Shannon go out, you'll be like, oh yeah, we like went out for a weekend, you'll have a drink. Me and Sanaya have only ever probably drank together twice, maybe. And I thought to myself, when I'm done with this, like, prep, if I'm going out for a nice meal, I'm away for a weekend, I'm going to have like 2 or 3 drinks. Like, not every time I go away,
The thing
but
is-
like once every 3 months.
Yeah.
Because I don't, and I did in Canada once. I had 1 drink, and I was like, that was quite nice. It was a horrible drink, but it was a nice occasion.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, like, that's something that I actually do want to implement.
You're not missing out though. Like,
No,
it's
I don't
not like,
know.
oh, that's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I like a gin and lemonade. So like, if me and Shannon go out for a nice meal, I might get a nice drink.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, we'd never have a drink just at home.
Yeah.
We'd never, if we were just going out for a Nando's, we'd never be like, oh, let's get a drink. Like, you know what I mean? It's literally, if we're going out for maybe a nice meal or a nice occasion like a birthday or something, or a weekend away for something like an anniversary, that's when we might have a couple of drinks. But otherwise, very rare.
Yeah.
So that is like, I would say just having them 1 or 2, or you know what, 3 or 4 occasions a year, they make, not that I live for them drinks, but they make life, you know, that little bit, you know, oh yeah, we had a really nice time doing that, rather than like, yeah, we didn't do that at all.
No, but
whatever
I
the thing would be.
It doesn't have to relate. It doesn't have to. Like, the amount of if you'd have gone and had, you can have a great weekend away and not have to have a drink. You know what I mean? But it's nice that you think, well, I can and I don't mind having a couple.
Yeah.
But for a
like,
lot of people, they have to have loads.
Yeah.
And that's the balancing act.
Yeah.
Of it. Like, a lot of people, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
But
I think
it's
I
not
went.
just a couple.
I worked out. I went like 18 months without a single alcoholic drink. I
Yeah.
didn't even realize. I didn't even think. Oh wow, 18 months, and I was like 22. Like,
Mate, we probably throughout COVID.
Oh yeah,
I think I'd be the same. Like 2 years or something.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember like it's my birthday, and like Russell, so my mum's boyfriend, was like, "You having a drink?" I'm like, "Didn't even cross my mind." No.
yeah, but it wouldn't. It doesn't, does it?
No,
Really?
No, but thanks for asking.
Yeah, no, but thanks for asking. Oh, now you ask, yeah, I'll have a pint. That's what I said to you. Yeah, I'll have a pint.
What you got? I'll have a pint of anything.
Yeah.
Hey,
Pint.
next time someone says to you, "Oh, what's the first thing that you're gonna do after you've finished prep?" Just be
Pint.
like, "I'm gonna go Weatherspoons.
Sink a pint.
I'm gonna just sing a nice
If you,
Carling or
what
Stella."
pint would you have?
I won't even know.
I'd just say, can I have a pint? And they
Yeah.
go, what? And I go, what have you got? And they show me it all, and I go, what's
They'll
nice?
go, "Can you show me your ID? Because you're quite clearly 12."
Yeah, you do not know what you're talking about.
Especially like post show when you're like really skinny.
Yeah,
And,
imagine.
can I have a pint? Like, testosterone's in the bin for months.
Right, so questions. First one, Josh. I think Liverpool are going to get top 4. 6 out of the last 10 home games, or 6 out of the last 10 games at home. Got a good record at home. The running's pretty easy for Liverpool.
Is this your question or someone's question?
Question, asked it.
I think I got asked
Josh,
a
a
Liverpool
Liverpool
related
fan.
question
Yeah.
as well.
Heineken right at the front.
Who asked you the question?
Are we sponsored by Heineken this week?
Oh yeah.
Glover lifts.
Big
Glover
shout
lifts.
out to Heineken, our sponsors.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There you go.
Sponsored by CP as well.
Yeah. So Liverpool top 4, yes or no? What do you reckon?
Yes.
Liverpool, yes. Top 4, yes.
No.
I think they've gone for a safe answer. I'm saying I think they will because
I'm
I'm
not going for a
Liverpool
safe
fan.
answer. I just don't think they've got enough. I think Newcastle. I think
solid.
because, to be fair, because it wouldn't surprise me if Newcastle bottle it because
Yeah.
they've not been there, and Tottenham are awful. So it wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool do but then I'd
It's
say
Liverpool.
Villa have got more chance at the
Yeah.
minute.
That's
Very good
the that's the team that it's in my
Imagine
head.
if Villa
I think
got
it'd be
top 4.
Villa or Liverpool. I think Newcastle's gonna
I think
seriously
Villa, I
bottle
think
it.
Villa would bottle it at that point. I think Europa League for Villa is class.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle
Really good.
should be
Considering
top 4.
They were in relegation
16th.
fodder like
Yeah, they were 16th
2-3
when
months ago.
Emery took over.
Yeah. Good evening.
Huh?
Good evening.
What's that?
You don't know good evening?
I have no idea what he's saying.
I don't.
Unai Emery's good evening.
Good evening.
Oh,
good-
right.
good-
I thought
I
you
didn't
were
know what
saying
you were
good
saying. You were
evening.
going good evening.
Good evening,
Sorry,
yeah.
mate.
I'm thinking,
evening.
crikey, Prep's really taking its toll now.
changed his
Just had that
language.
moment.
He's pissed from smelling that.
Right, guys, we've got 10 minutes tops, please. Let's get through some
Oh,
questions.
Christ. Best pint, Heineken Zero. Thank you to our sponsors over at Heineken.
I think
Here we
if I
go.
was to have a pint, I'd have a Copperberg, like cider.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a Copperberg before. Yeah,
Okay.
not too bad.
Nice.
Right. Josh C. Fit, he actually messaged me on WhatsApp as well. Best material for posing trunks. Now, I told him it doesn't really matter. You know, on like Iron Eagle and Iron Monkey and that.
What,
like,
the thongs?
Yeah, there's loads of different materials.
Yeah,
exactly. So there's loads of different materials. There's like polyester, there's velvet, and then there's ones that are like crushed velvet. There's
what about see-through silk?
Yeah, see-through, opaque colour. No, there's like shattered glass, mystique. There's loads of different ones. Ultimately, choose whichever you want. Like, it doesn't really matter. There's no right or wrong. I told him that on WhatsApp, but that's obviously maybe helpful for everyone else.
Yeah.
Josh, your go.
What, for answering that question?
For a question.
Nando's orders from, this is JP_MVMT.
Food focused again.
JP, seriously.
Every question.
JP.
All about food.
Yeah, you're coming off prep.
Put on my story.
Yeah, he looks really good. JP, you do look good, but Jesus Christ, so food focused.
Well, I think we know why he's going to look good, because he just sent me his Nando's order.
Oh, was it?
What you put in last night on prep?
Full platter, easily. Whole chicken. 4 times garlic bread. Spicy rice and chips. And then they're like, whoo, emoji.
Wow, ridiculous.
One thing that you've missed off there, mate, is you didn't put the spice.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
I'd go halloumi sticks starter.
Ooh.
I like the halloumi sticks.
That's
never have all. I would go a half it with Sonata. So like
That's still high.
2.5 each. Yeah, 2.5 each sound. Sweet potato wedges, but I have that as like a side. And then usually we'll get the hummus, so it's like the dare to share. No, I don't have the hummus.
What's this? This guy's balling. How much are you charging for?
No, I do the dare to share. It's £9. Dare to share. Me and Sanaa will share the sides. We'll have a bit of each. We'll just sprinkle. And then my actual, yeah, of course.
Yeah, nobody will only absorb so much.
Yeah, and then my actual order, I get a double chicken wrap or double chicken pita, depending on how things are. And, and then, to be fair, everything else I always think is pretty meh. The rice is average. Yeah. The garlic bread's greasy. The chips are horrendously overrated. So usually I just have sides.
I really don't like chips.
I think chips are the most overrated food going.
Shannon really likes chips.
I think they're awful.
I just think that they accompany things quite well. And like, I would use the chip as like a shovel onto, like using the rice. You'd like push the chip up,
chips
get the rice on
top.
top.
They're awful. I think they're genuinely like one of the worst foods. Crisps as well, same thing.
Oh, crisps.
Same stuff. It's just the same taste.
I'm not bothered about crunch, mate.
Oh, crisp, yeah. My order. And to be fair, this is even like, it's different if I needed loads of calories in. Yeah. But this is what I would generally get. I'd have the sweet potato side, but I basically have that just as the meal. Yeah. Corn on my 2 sides, corn on the cob, and then usually, to be fair, recently I've been having one side. So I'll have corn on the cob and the sweet potato fries as a side, and then double chicken wrap. So that's it.
I saw Ryan Terry in Nando's whilst he was like 4 weeks out from.
Christian Griezmann in Nando's. Got a photo with him.
Fuck off.
Yeah, genuinely. In Liverpool when I was like 20.
I bottled it with Ryan. I saw Ryan. I rang Annabella. I was like, Annabella, Ryan Terry's in Nando's at Meadowhall. Yeah? I did. That's the story for another day. Bezzies. We are Bezzies. Yeah. You recognise me. That's all I'm saying. I've not said my Nando's order. Sorry, whoa. Double chicken pita, Peri Tamer spice. I
have Peri Tamer spice.
Gorgeous. You're bigger than him.
No, I'm bigger than him.
Yeah, I have Peri Tamer spice.
Yeah. Peri Tamer, I would add pineapple into the mix, into the double chicken pita. Oh. Sides, I'd go rice and chips. And
carb special.
Yeah.
Your Nando's isn't your usual go-to. It's Wagamama's, isn't it? Pretty sure.
Come
on, this is actually a question. What's your top, you got one place to go to for food. This isn't like an off-plan, like after a show. This is just like one place you get to choose. Nando's, something simple, like.
Oh, I was gonna say Australasia in Manchester.
Yeah,
it's
is
like
it a sushi place?
It's like Asian
cuisine.
Yeah. So you get like sushi as a course, and then you'd have a steak. Oh, it's unbelievable. After you've done, we'll go. Yeah. We'll take our girlfriends. We'll have like a date weekend.
We do need to actually do things. Like I thought we should, because we get on really well. We do need to do stuff together. We're all so antisocial, and
we are.
Me and Finn are.
Especially when I think his shows won't be done for all of us until like next year, and
then you might
be prepping again by that point.
Yeah, I'll probably be better another prep. So yeah.
Right,
we'll go.
Let's get through some more. Right. This one is for you, Josh. Sorry, mate. It's Jake James Fitness. Is that your client?
Yeah, I love him.
He's put for Josh, Natty for life? ? And a wink face. You're definitely not Natty, are you? You've told him.
Natty for life. I think so. Yes.
Why has he put a wink face then?
Because
Josh, can I grab you by the delts and go, "Are you natural?"
Yes.
Yes, JT. I am natural.
Yes, JT. Kiss a kiss. Let me win a pro card. Yeah. I think Jake's long-term plans are to go enhanced. You've seen him. You think he's decent.
He is quite good.
Who is he?
This guy.
Like my big boy. He's like 6 foot odd, weighs 100 kilos, still got abs.
Yes. Yep. Do know him. Yeah. I think I'd messaged you saying this guy looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does look very good.
Yeah, he's decent.
Got a big structure, so he's one of those sort of dudes that would look good he looks good there. But I reckon if he was to fill out his frame, he'd be pretty menacing.
Yeah.
Like he's got a big sort of just big dude. So
So Natty for life, yes, I think so. I don't think that there's anything that's going to occur that's going to make me go, oh yeah, I want to go enhance. And like part of the reason of me doing like such a almost like a big prep and going abroad and stuff, I want to show people that are like, oh well, the top most interesting thing that you can do is going and competing at the Olympia. I want to kind of show that there are other ways that you can like go and have like an unreal experience
while
and
also
like
drinking pints.
Yeah.
Balance.
Sponsored by Heineken.
Speaking of that, top
Here we
5
go.
pints.
Why is everyone asking pints?
We're not answering anything.
What are your top 5 pints?
No, come on. I've got literally 2 minutes till we got to go. We're not answering that, surely. Right. How would you approach training in the first few weeks post-show?
First week post-show, take it a little bit easy.
Do you have time off?
No, because generally speaking, I would go out for food more, and I just kind of want to move the food around.
I had that. I had a day
So,
off.
just going for a pump.
Yeah, I had literally the Sunday off, and I was like, in that whole Sunday, I was like, I want to train. Like at the final Saturday, I was like, I want to train. If I'm going to be eating more food, why wouldn't I want to shuttle the food into?
Also, like motivation's quite high at that point.
Yeah.
You've just stepped off stage. You feel good.
I've got
you want to
post-show
make
blues.
improvements.
I've got post-show blues. I just hate everything. Yeah. No, I think it's one of those. You're gonna feel. We've said this before. You're gonna feel like Superman after a show. Like you're gonna after a prep. You're gonna get a bit more food. You're gonna get full. You're gonna get real good pumps, but you're still really, really lean. And as a result of that, like Finn threw in dumbbells straight away. You're gonna throw in all these like proper demanding movements. Like I remember AJ, Mr. MBW himself. He was like barbell pressing and free weight squatting.
That's
and
even after like his third prep as well.
Yeah. And this is when
Someone that's very experienced.
People throw in these big movements because it's like, oh, my body weight's going to be going up, and you can get a good runway for a good maybe couple of weeks until you realise, oh, I'm systemically ruined, crushed.
Yeah.
So it's hard, but you have to hold yourself back. Working within maybe a rep or two in reserve.
Yeah.
Because you'll probably will be doing that approach anyway in the build up to the shows and in between shows. So maybe leaving a rep or two there. Volume should be almost slowly crept up as body fat levels rise up. And it should just be a case of slowly and steadily adapting to increased food, increased body fat, increased recovery capabilities, and thinking that you're not going to put on muscle from just 1 week's worth of training. It's going to be multiple weeks of consecutive progressions where you can grow. But unfortunately, you don't think that. You think, time to grow. Let's just push my volume up.
I've gained 60 pounds in 2 months, and it's all muscle. Yeah.
All right, let's quickly do any questions that are directly for Josh, or any ones that Josh has, because we've got questions that we can go through when we next.
I've got one specific for me. What's your favourite shop for supplements? Elite Subs UK, discount code JC10.
Apparently, they've got a new chalk that's come out.
Yeah, they've got a new chalk, haven't they? Stephen Chalk.
Is it Stephen Chalk?
It's Stephen Chalk.
Yeah. Stephen's Chalk.
I've never heard of him. Her.
You haven't heard of him?
No, you know Stephen Physique.
Yeah.
He's got his own chalk.
Oh yeah. He's on the photo, isn't it?
Stephen Chalk.
Yeah.
We can call it Stephen Chalk.
Okay, all right.
You guys can call it Stephen Chalk, and if you want to get some Stephen Chalk, JC10 at the checkout. Cheers.
Have you got any other for you directly? Have you got any for Josh directly?
Or any for the table?
No.
That's good.
Should you have a pint of beer pre-intro or post? That's from Kez.
You had one post.
I'm having one post. We've just trained.
Yeah, he's having one post now. Throughout his prep, he told me he was having them post.
Right. It was a nice summer's day. I was driving home. I drove past Tesco's. I thought, you know what I fancy? I fancy an Erdinger. I fancy a pint. So I had an Erdinger non-alcoholic. It's isotonic, so it helps with hydration. It actually made me feel 10 times happier about life. There we go. I will do it again this year, just for you two.
And what did you do? Did you pull down your next meal, or what did you do to allocate for the calories?
I just pulled down my next meal. You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's 25 carb.
I've got Josh's prep plans. We've already gone through those. I think other questions me and Reece will answer on the next podcast.
Awesome.
Okay.
That went quick.
Yeah, it flies, doesn't it?
Yeah. I feel like we could literally sit and talk all day.
We could.
You could. The podcast, like, you get to a point, like, we've been on this now for over an hour. And, like, genuinely, we could do
on. 2-3 hours. If we have the time, we would, but, like, right now, we don't really have the time.
Yeah.
Just quickly before we go, currently on 224 subscribers on YouTube. So can we get that up to 250? If you're not subscribed, please click the subscribe button. And the number below is the current Spotify followers. So if you're not following us on Spotify, please give us a follow. And also please give us a 5-star rating as well.
Yes. Awesome. Right. Josh, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Wicked session today. Really good to see you as
always.
always.
If you want to watch that, it's if you want to watch our session together, it's a three-way threesome. It's going to be on my YouTube. It's going to be on Finn's OnlyFans.
Yes.
My YouTube.
So yeah, all good. Right. Thanks as always, guys. Thanks for story tags. Thanks for the support. We'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Goodbye.